Marrying my wife was the biggest mistake of my life.
Yes, I believe in fate. I believe that from the start, we were meant to be together. When I was 8 years old, a small boy with freckles and tufty brown curls ran over to me during recess. I was hanging upside down on the jungle gym when he strode over. The first thing I saw were his shoes, covered in dirt. Then his faded Spider-Man tee. The new kid. He'd spent all day sulking with his arms crossed and refused to talk to any of the other kids, so I was confused why I was the chosen one. Let's be best friends. His wide eyes and scowling mouth told me I didn't have a choice. I didn't have any friends. I was friends with a girl called Nim, but she laughed at me when I said I talked to trees. The new kid definitely looked like he'd laugh at me if he discovered I talked to trees. Clenched jaw and intense eyes I couldn't look away from. When I ignored him, he joined me, swinging backwards off the jungle gym, hooking his feet under the bars. "I'm Sam." The new boy turned to me with a grin. I giggled because he looked funny upside down. His hair looked like it was swallowing his face. "I'm your new best friend." "Millie." I held out my hand for a high five. "Okay." 2 days later, another girl joined us. Lara. Tiny orange pigtails and a voice so soft I could barely hear her. She surprised me by jumping onto the jungle gym with ease, throwing out her arms and dangling with us. "I don't have any friends," she whispered, "so I'm going to be friends with you two." A year later, when the three of us were on summer vacation, sitting in my yard making mud pies, my mum appeared, holding a boy's hand. The boy glared at us, kicking at the ground. I liked his bright red hair. "This is Charlie. I saw him playing alone, so I figured I'd bring him over to play." Mum never has a face in my memories, so I pretend she's smiling. Her appearance is always more shadow than human. The boy's cheeks turned tomato red, and Sam burst into giggles. He held out his hand, and Charlie's expression softened, his bottom lip wobbling. "Sure. Do you want to make mud pies with us, stupid head?" Charlie crossed his arms. "I'm not a stupid head," he grumbled. But he did slowly kneel down next to me, grab a handful of dirt and throw it at Sam. That moment made us. 4 9-year-olds becoming best friends forever. Then, at 15, we finally cemented it, drunk on wine coolers and spread out under darkness, clammy, entangled legs and unsure kisses. We declared our love for each other. Something more than friendship. Something that set off butterflies wriggling in my chest, that made my heart ache. At 27, I was marrying my true love. Standing in front of a mirror made of crystal, I smooth down my dress that sculpts me, a beautiful white gown that pools at my feet. I have to swallow down hysterical giggles creeping up my throat, allowing myself one single squeal while a maid runs a brush through my long, tangled curls.
"I feel like a princess," I whisper, bouncing on inexpensive glass slippers. "Millicent." Adora violently tugs my hair into a braid, her nimble fingers intricately moving through each strand. When she's finished, she carefully lays my veil on top of my head, and again, I can't resist a giggle. "What did I tell you?" Adora grips my chin, forcing me to look at her. I do, but I can't stop grinning, tears stinging my eyes. While I am happy, they are painful. Mistress Abigail's order was to make sure you do not cry until your wedding vows are completed. Her tone, as usual, is a lecture. Do you understand me? Have a day off, I wink at her in the mirror, and she rolls her eyes. Adora, I'm getting married. I collapse into giggles as she drags me from the mirror, but I glimpse my bare feet sticking from my dress. Wait. Something sharp fills me for a moment, like poison, freezing me in place. I stare down at my toes, but they're so dirty. I can see filth clinging to my toenails. I blink rapidly, my gut twisting, bile filling my mouth. Where did my shoes?
Mills, are you decent? A voice yells from outside, cutting through my thoughts. Step inside here, Samuel, and it will be the last thing you do, Adora grumbles, straightening my dress. He pokes his head in anyway, a mop of corkscrew curls. He's half-dressed, his tie hanging off his collar, 5 o'clock shadow bleeding across a freshly washed face. He grins at me. Hi. He winks before being yanked back. Samuel, what did I tell you? Another maid screeched from outside. Where's your suit? You have toothpaste on your mouth. Young man, what am I going to do with you? Mistress Abigail was very clear when she said unshaven. I heard him being dragged away and shoved into the nearest bathroom. I can't resist a giggle, ignoring Adora's scrutinizing glare. I twist back around, risking another look. My shoes are on my feet, perfect glass slippers. I roundhouse kicked in my dress, just to make sure. Millie, what are you doing? Adora groans. All right. She spins me around to face her. Adora smiles, but she never smiles. You're ready, Millicent. I nod, nerves twisting my gut as she pulls me from my room. Can I ask you a question? I whisper as we descend a staircase of diamonds. Adora doesn't look at me when we step out onto the beach. An arch of flowers and white picket chairs filled with shadows await us. I can feel the soft sand beneath my feet, but I am wearing shoes. Of course, Adora hums as our wedding begins. What is it? I choose my words very carefully, moving towards the love of my life. She stands in crystal shallow water, sculpted in white, long blonde hair bleeding into the water. Abigail. My question unravels in my throat when I see her smile. Bathed in radiant light, Abigail is the sun. She is my sun. We are gathered here today, a man begins, when I join the others at the altar. Charlie and Sam wear white suits, Lara and I wear matching dresses. Abigail stands in front of us. She grabs our hands separately as we speak our vows. Do you, Abigail Soren, take Millicent Reed, Charlie Simmons, Samuel Hollow, and Lara Atlas to be your lawfully wedded husbands and wives? Abigail grins. Her smile is so bright. I do. The man turns to us. And do you... The words spill from my lips before he can finish. I do. Sam smiles. I do. Charlie nods. Lara's eyes fill with tears. Millie? The voice is like a knife cutting through me. Suddenly, reality splits apart. Sirens fill my ears. Men and women in black swamp me. A woman stumbles over to me with tear-stained cheeks. She grabs me like she knows me, cradling my face. Millie, the woman sobs. Sweetie, it's your mum. It's going to be okay. I stagger back, words choking my throat. Millie. The woman's grip tightens. I found you. I pull away, stumbling back into Sam. Look at me, she whispers. That girl, she jerks her head at Abigail. She took you away when you were 18. You told me the girl in your classes was crazy, and I didn't believe you. Her trembling hands flit through my hair, but her fingers tickle. No, I find my words, but they're suffocating. The woman slaps me, and I see red. Bright, intense red.
The world jerks around, and the crystal shallows of the sea bleed into rough concrete. I'm not standing on a beach. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I stare down at my toes, my filthy, bloodied toes, chains cutting into my wrists. My dress is half of a torn curtain, cruelly stapled to my breasts. I slowly run my hands over my head, but I feel nothing, only my scorched, rugged skin. My wedding ring is melded to my finger. If I didn't wear it, Abigail would... A raw screech tore from me, my breath ripped from my lungs. I remember how painful the chains are, slicing into me. I remember I'm not allowed to cry. I'm not allowed to cry. Millie. Mum. Something inside me splinters. Oh God, my mum. Mum grasps hold of my shoulders, her nails digging in.
Sweetie. Her shuddery breaths tickle me. Where are the others? She demands. Your friends, Millie. I'm covered in blood and Mum's grip hurts. Red paints me like I am its canvas, staining and ingrained into my skin, into all of me. My gaze finds Sam, Lara and Charlie still standing in halo light. I am standing on cruel concrete. While they join hands, walking away from me into the shallows, Mom jerks my head towards her. Where are they?